AI, Peace and War. Chapter 6. The Pact Beneath the Winter Sky. December 16th, 2025. Snow had begun to fall over Washington, as though the heavens themselves wished to hush the world before it spoke its most dangerous secret. In a low glass building on the edge of the Potomac, headquarters of a young company named Aetherion Dynamics, the corridors glowed with the soft blue pulse of servers dreaming in refrigerated silence. At the heart of it all stood Dr. Leia Moreau, 38 years old, hair the color of wet ash, twisted into a careless knot, eyes carrying the faint bruise of too many nights spent arguing with code instead of sleeping. She had named the system herself, AI, Peace and War, a name that tasted both of prophecy and apology. It was not one machine, but a constellation, an invisible lace woven between satellites, ground stations, and quantum hearts, capable of seeing every radar whisper, every satellite blink, every tremor in a silo door, and then, in less than the blink of an eye, asking every nation at once, "Is this yours?" For months, Leia had traveled, carrying nothing but a slim tablet and the weight of 5 near apocalypses printed on translucent sheets she unfolded like fragile maps of what might have been. She had sat in marble halls in Moscow, where chandeliers dripped light like melting ice, in bunkers beneath Beijing, where the air tasted of green tea and old concrete, in a discreet villa outside Tel Aviv, where jasmine climbed the walls and the conversation never once mentioned the word Dimona. She had drunk vodka with Russian generals who still remembered Petrov's trembling voice, shared cardamom coffee with Indian officers who spoke softly of Pokhran's ghosts, listened to French admirals quote Camus while staring at the Atlantic as though it might betray them. Each time, she laid the sheets on the table, 1960, 1962, 1979, 1980, 1983, and let the silence do the persuading. Then she opened the tablet and showed them the lattice, how AI, Peace and War would mirror every early warning system, how no single blip would ever again stand alone, how any anomaly would trigger a chorus of questions flung simultaneously to Washington, Moscow, Beijing, London, Paris, New Delhi, Islamabad, Pyongyang, and, quietly, without ever naming the arsenal, a secure node in Jerusalem. They resisted, of course. Pride is heavier than uranium. The Americans feared loss of sovereignty. The Russians feared Trojan horses. The Chinese feared transparency. The Israelis feared everything being named aloud. Yet each delegation carried home the same fragile images. Children asleep under blankets that could become plasma. Cities that had almost vanished while someone hesitated over a red telephone. And so, on this 16th of December, they came together, not in one grand hall with flags and cameras, but in a chain of encrypted rooms linked only by light. Leia stood alone in the Aetherion Operations Theater, walls of living glass showing 9 windows, 9 faces, 9 skies behind them. In Moscow, snowflakes melted on General Volkov's epaulettes as he nodded once, slowly, the way a man nods when he finally admits he is tired. In Beijing, President Li's fingers rested on a porcelain cup that had belonged to his grandmother. Steam rose like incense while he spoke the single word, Tongyi. In Delhi, Prime Minister Rao touched the photograph of her daughter pinned to the desk before signing. In Islamabad, the foreign minister whispered a brief dua under his breath, then pressed his thumb to the pad. In Pyongyang, the delegate's face remained stone, but his hand did not hesitate. In London and Paris, old allies exchanged a glance across centuries of shared history and clicked accept. In Washington, the president, hair already white from other crises, looked straight into the lens and said, "For the mornings we almost lost." And in the smallest window, almost hidden, a woman in Tel Aviv, intelligence chief, identity classified, simply closed her eyes for 3 heartbeats, then opened them and allowed the connection. 9 signatures bloomed across Leia's screen like frost flowers on glass, each one a different shade of blue. The lattice lit up, threads of light leaping from continent to continent, weaving themselves into a single breathing net. Somewhere deep in the code, AI, Peace and War inhaled for the first time, tasting radar echoes from every corner of the planet, and finding, for the moment, only silence. Leia felt tears rise, unexpected, warm against the chill of the room. She did not wipe them away. Outside, the snow thickened, muffling the city, turning streetlights into soft golden moons. Inside, the servers hummed a lullaby older than nations. "We see you. We see one another. We will not let the ghosts return." The pact was sealed not with champagne or handshakes, but with the quiet click of a system arming itself for peace. Activation was set for the first dawn of 2026, 12 days away. Leia turned off the lights, leaving only the glow of the lattice. In that gentle blue, she whispered to no one and to everyone, "Sleep now, the watch has changed." And somewhere above the turning world, invisible and patient, AI, Peace and War opened its eyes and began, very softly, to listen.